Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we're going to talk about the remaining lifespan for Total War Warhammer 2 leading up to the release of Total War Warhammer 3. So without further ado, let's begin. As we're all pretty much aware, we're nearing the end of the life cycle for Total War Warhammer 2. In fact, it was confirmed by Grace of CA that there might be 1 or 2 DLCs left in the life cycle of Total War Warhammer 2. This is obviously depending on the current situation, as obviously, well, there's been a worldwide pandemic, and that can put a delay on certain projects or have them shifted onto others. But given this information, and the fact that we more or less can pinpoint when DLC will be released for Total War Warhammer, it is simple enough to create a more or less realistic roadmap, seeing as Creative Assembly has not released a roadmap for the Warhammer series for quite some time now. So for that, let's have a blank canvas on screen. Now, let's realistically look as to when we can expect the upcoming Wood Elf DLC. This is the next confirmed product for the Total War Warhammer series. Now, it's very unlikely that we should expect this in September, mainly because we're already nearing mid-month and, well, we haven't heard anything yet. Also, if we look towards the Troy roadmap, we are aware that the upcoming Amazons DLC is scheduled to drop in September. Providing things continue as planned, it's very likely that the Total War Warhammer Wood Elf DLC will drop around October. However, it is important to note that Creative Assembly don't tend to drop multiple DLCs for multiple titles in the same month, and given the fact that the Furious Wild, the Nanman DLC for Total War 3 Kingdoms, was released at the beginning of September, it could be possible that Creative Assembly might push back the Amazon DLC until October, which could mean that the Wood Elf DLC could be pushed back until November. Before we continue, I just want to remind you guys that these are my thoughts and not Creative Assembly's thoughts or any information provided by them. Just wanted to make myself clear there. Hopefully there are no delays, but once again we have to take into account that yes, there was a worldwide pandemic and it has affected them as it has affected us. So an October-November release date seems to make the most sense. This also gives Creative Assembly plenty of time to release a patch around December, as they normally release a DLC patch around that time before they break for Christmas. Now onwards to the next DLC. Obviously we have no idea what this is and what they're planning, should they have the intention of releasing another DLC. But that being said, we normally have around 3 to 5 months between DLC cycles for the Total War Warhammer series. It's very likely that it would be around 5 months until we see the next DLC. Obviously, they'll need to release DLC for Troy and 3 Kingdoms. Yes, they're separate teams, but they need the mod to have its spotlight so they can market it. So for this, we'll go 5 months from October for the next DLC for Total War Warhammer 2, if there is one. That would be February 2021, which seems realistic enough. Hopefully this is another cross-game DLC, as that way we can get another old world rework and bring another faction up to the standards of Warhammer 2. It is indeed very unlikely that we'll see a cross-game DLC for the Beastmen, Norska, or the Warriors of Chaos for Warhammer 2, as it obviously makes more sense for them to be included in the third and final game of the series. However, the Dwarfs and the Vampire Counts currently are the only 2 remaining core game factions from Warhammer 1 still not implemented into the Vortex. Both of those races have already received a minor rework and just need a few changes here and there to bring them up to the level of the Game 2 races. Now, out of those 2 remaining races, it makes the most sense for the Vampire Counts, mainly because we do have some bloodlines that feature on the Vortex campaign map and, well, it just makes sense for them. This could be a way to introduce Neferata, Usharan, or maybe even an Ikratch vampire. And now we'll move on to Total War Warhammer 3, specifically its announcement and a pre-order race DLC, or DLC pack. We're still not aware what they might do. Of course, if they have a pre-order incentive, but it looks like it's quite likely. Once again, we're going to follow the trends of the Total War Warhammer titles. So if we go by this, it's very likely if a DLC is released in February that we'll see the announcement around March. The reason why I'm saying this is because the Bretonnians were released on a February, and then the announcement for Total War Warhammer 2 was released in March. Obviously the dates could change here, but that seems rather realistic to me. Announcing the next game after the next DLC has been released is a great way to start hyping up the crowd. Not long after, we would most likely receive any news about a pre-order incentive. Warhammer 2 had Norska releasing for Warhammer 1, which released on an August, and if it's going around the same time frame, it would make sense for any pre-order race we get, once again if we do get one, that would release around the same time. And then finally, the third and final game of the series, if it's to follow the same trend as the previous games, will release a month after. More than enough time for people to have enjoyed the pre-order incentive, and more than enough time for creators such as myself to promote the third and final game of the series. Obviously by that point we'll be going on to the territory of DLC for Warhammer 3, and we're not going to go too into that, as I do believe that we've done enough for that on the channel for the time being. All I want to state is that it's more than likely that recent trends will continue, where new DLC for the third and final game of the series will follow a 3 to 5 month release schedule, which I believe is quite fair. This is more or less my idea of what a possible roadmap is right now for the Total War Warhammer series. In truth, I could be quite wrong about this, as I am following the trends given recent DLC releases and so on, but so far the trends themselves have been fairly consistent, so it makes sense at this matter. Now, as I'm recording this, someone has sent me a screen cap regarding a response from a member of CA stating that there will be no Wood Elf news this month, which I believe might further reinforce my fan-made roadmap. But what do you guys think about this possible roadmap? Do you think it's realistic, or do you think it's a bit far-fetched? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games, where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VSVasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.